Welcome to Energetics with Kim and Veronica, where we invite you to nourish the energy of your inner why, your inner healing, magic, prosperity, your curiosity, clarity, playfulness. Welcome home.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Veronica. Hey, Kimsicle. So we are energetics, and we just like to chat about things as they come up in the moment for us, things that are happening for people that we're hanging out with, in our classes, in our lives, and just kind of play with it. And so Veronica and I have been doing energetics type of work. I think between us, we must have like 50 years experience, something like that. And so we're just and maybe a lot of you do as well. So we're just inviting you to show up brand new and fresh with beginner's mind and just play.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, just hanging out for a chat with some friends. And so, yeah, we were looking at, okay, what do we want to explore today? And we were thinking, a fun topic that can be a hot topic is follow your dreams. And what does that look like? And what does it actually mean?
See it?
I should kind of see it. Yeah, it's cute. That's from your grandbaby.
Yeah, she painted it for me. Yeah, the follow your dreams. What is that? What would you call that? Is it a saying? Is it what is it? That
Probably.
is it
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start in, or do you want?
It's interesting because when I think back to one of my biggest conundrums in life, it was always like, who do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to be when I grow up? Right. And so even going through university, I was always really wrestling with what are my dreams? What is it that I would like to be? And it's interesting because there are so many options available to us. And yet there's also this pressure of what should I do with my life? And what is it that I really dream to be or do as a career? And so it can become, it's one of those things that's like a beautiful, magical, uplifting concept. And it's also something that creates a lot of pressure and also it can be a catalyst for a lot of constriction in terms of, am I following my dreams? Am I being all that I can be? And how can I follow my dreams? Whether you're look in university or you're in your 60s and, we all have dreams. And so what does it actually mean and how do we align with it?
Yeah, I love it. And so, yeah, the reason that, well, not the reason, but the thing that showed up for me in this is, years ago, Ken and I were with a bunch of people, and they were talking about an event that they had attended where there was a speaker, and they were all really enjoying what this lady was saying until she used the words, follow your dreams. To them, that was when they went, oh, can I leave now? And I was sitting there and I was just observing, and it was really, really interesting. It wasn't a place or a space or the audience for me to take a teaching moment. It wasn't that, and I was aware of that. And so I love jumping in with people who aren't into this stuff at all and just kind of sitting and observing and just being that. And so I started to look at that and really play with that. Well, what does that mean? And so their conversation was, try to tell that to somebody who's working at a job for minimum wage that they hate. And so they saw it as, pie in the sky, and, the woman didn't know what she was talking about. And so, try to follow your dreams to somebody who's working at a job that they hate for minimum wage, or they're in a relationship that they don't know how to get out of. And, now I'm just going to say it. I can't tell you how many women I know who are in relationships that they don't want to be in, but with what's going on with rentals in the world and where they live, they don't believe they have the funds to be able to move out and make it on their own. And so they're staying in. As I say that, I have 4 names popping in my head of people who feel like they're stuck. So there's no following your dreams if you're feeling stuck. If anything, I think, and I'm curious what you think, Veronica, and what everyone else thinks, if anything, I think that might actually make people think that they're a failure, that they can't do the things they want to do, that they're stuck in a relationship, they're stuck in a job. There's no empowerment in anything that feels stuck. And so, there can be a sense of failure. I failed. I can't even move out. I failed. I can't even this. I can't even that. And I'm not talking about just women. I'm talking about, people who are living in situations, maybe with their parents, maybe with their partner, and they just want to move out on their own and they can't. And so there's a real stuckness in that. And so what are your thoughts on that, Veronica? Does that translate to failure? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you think that might translate to failure for a lot of people?
100%. Yeah, it can be a real turnoff, and it can be hard to look at people who appear to be following their dreams or living their dreams. And it becomes a catalyst for, to your point, like that feeling of failure and discouragement and why them and not me. And yet the beautiful thing is that there is a path, right? Even if you don't know necessarily what your dreams are, or if you do know what they are, there is a path energetically that can be followed, that can lead you from where you're at to where you are, pursuing and living your dreams. And that's the beautiful thing about, this work of energetics is our logical mind sees the gap. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'd like to be. Or I don't even know where I'd like to be, but I don't want to be here. So our logical mind sees the gap and it looks for the steps. What are the steps that might take me there? I don't know the steps, or the steps I believe could be the steps required are not available to me or possible for me. So your logical mind turns you down and says that it's just not possible. So I'm stuck here and there is no dream to follow, or there is no path to my dreams. The beautiful thing about the energetics is that it's not logical. And so there are energies available to us when we learn how to tune into them that can begin to open up a pathway. And that's the beauty for me. I don't know your thoughts on that.
I love that you brought that up. Yeah. And because, it is exactly, if I'm really looking at my life and not liking it, but don't know how to get to, as you said, where I would like to be. And I might not even know what that is, right? I might not even know what that is. If I'm looking at my life wishing it was something else than what it is, then I'm playing in the energy of, I am being the energy of and radiating and putting that energy of my life sucks, or I'm not where I want to be, all that kind of stuff, right? However, one of the things that Melanie Ann Layer says, and I know I've quoted her in one of our other podcasts, is what is the thing she says about that? It's not what you do, it's who you're being when you do it. Right. And so that goes along with the be the change you want to see in the world. Well, that sounds really nice on paper and it looks really good. But it's just verbal diarrhea. if you don't know the how, right?
Right.
And so for me, that's always been a thing for me is, oh, I so get it. What's the how? What's the how? And so, so it's kind of like that. So how do I get to be an energy? So be the change you want to see in the world. Well, what's that mean? Get the energy of it, get the vibe of it. Then you're being it. Then you're radiating that. Now you're a match for it. And so what do you think? Should we run them through a little quickie?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. One
As
other
an
thing I was
experience of that.
Yeah, I think that's great. One other frame, I guess, like a context I wanted to share, like when we think about energetics, is there's a couple of ways that we can try to understand it logically, even though it's not logical, to help our brain really click into what it is that we're talking about here. And when we talk about energy and tuning into the energy of what it is that we want to be creating or living in our life, I think there's a couple of analogies that have helped me a lot. One of them that we've talked about in the past is thinking about like a radio station, right? So there's different frequencies when it comes to a radio station, and you tune your dial to, maybe we're aging ourselves here because there might be people who never had to tune in a dial on a radio station, but that's how it works, right?
Right.
So you used to drive your car and you used to have to like tune in. I mean, it still exists, but I don't know how many people use it. So you tune in to the frequency that you want to listen to, right? And so every radio station is playing at the same time, but which one are you tuning into? And I think that has been a really helpful analogy when we talk about, okay, what are you tuning into? What are you feeding, right? So you can also think about it like a garden. Are you feeding the weeds in the garden? Are you watering the weeds, or are you watering the flowers? You're choosing what you're nourishing. You're choosing what you're tuning into. And so that's really what we're talking about here when we talk about, are you tuning into or nurturing and nourishing the stuckness? Or are you choosing to tune into a different station and tune into the energy of, again, your dreams or your desires?
I love that. And thank you. And also the reminder that you brought in of this is not logical thinking, people. This is not 1 + 1 = 2, right? Like energy is not that at all. There's all kinds of science behind it, as they know, but yeah. Do you have all kinds of noise on your end, or is it just me?
Are you hearing noise? It could be me. Let me try muting and see.
Oh, well, for a minute it sounded like a kettle whistling.
Oh,
That might just be, yeah, I don't know what you're hearing here. So, yeah, and so do you, whatever you just did, what that? What is that? It might be just on my end, or listeners might not be hearing it. Okay.
let me.
Okay. Now it sounds like an airplane taking off. I think, it's fine.
All right, I'm sure. I don't know if that helps.
It's just got louder.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, how's that?
We're still learning our mics and stuff, people. Now can I hear you?
So you talk and I'll mute while you're talking.
Okay. Okay, cool. So do you want me to guide them in with the thing?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
You're clicking on and off. Okay, cool. And so let's just take a moment to play in the energetics, because it's how we're feeling on the inside, where we're radiating, where we're connecting. And this is the energy that we can play in to be the change, show up in the world, being the change, being the vibe, being the frequency. And as you shared, Veronica, it's about, that's the radio station we want to tune into. when it comes to, okay, this is what's happening in my life. Okay, I can tune into that frequency and stay there. Or I can go, what is it I would like to create instead? What is it I would like to have instead? Right? And so, yeah, so let's just take a quick moment and let's just close their eyes, or you can keep them open, whatever works for you when you're learning something new. And just bring your awareness down into your belly. And as you're doing that, bring your breath down to your belly. So as you inhale, your belly expands, just like you're putting air into a balloon. Your belly expands like putting air into the balloon. And as you exhale, you're letting the air out of that balloon. And just take a couple of deep breaths. And now just bring your awareness to the area of the heart, if you like. You can even put your hand there if you like, if that helps. And so you're still breathing normal. So you're breathing normal, whatever that is for you, with your awareness at the area of the heart. Now bring to mind, bring into your awareness something that when you bring it into your awareness, it feels really good. It could be your favorite food. It could be a flower. It could be how the sun feels on your face. So it could be a person, could be a place, could be a thing. It could be a memory. It could be an experience. Something that when you bring it into your awareness puts that Mona Lisa smile on your lips and the giggle in your heart. And now in that space, if you have something particular that you would like to actualize, just imagine what it might be like to have that. What might that be like to have that thing actualize? So we're activating the heart, and now we're bringing our awareness to that thing. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a career, a job. What is it that you would like to actualize in your life and living? And choose something that is not so far-fetched that you can't get the feel of it. Choose something that, oh my God, yes, that would feel so good. And just let yourself imagine what it might feel like to have that thing. Breathing normal. Wouldn't that be nice? You're saying to yourself. What might that be like? Notice I'm not using the words look like, because look like can actually be very limiting as to what the universe actually has for you. So we want to go into what might that be like and allow yourself to go there. So you're imagining, you're pretending, you're playing, and allowing that vibe, that frequency, allowing your cells to soak in it. And now you're going to let go of the thing that you're looking to actualize and invite this energy to take on a life of its own, to expand within you. All of me here from head to toe, soaking in this vibe, in this frequency. And now allowing it to expand beyond you. So not leaving the body, just expanding beyond you and occupying more space than your body. And allow it to expand even bigger and even more. And even more. Allow it to expand as far out into the universe, beyond what you even imagine the universe to be. And you're allowing it to take on a life of its own. And just notice, be aware of the feel of this. This is you being the change you want to see in the world. This is you being it regardless of what's going on in the world and in your world. This is an energy that you can access at any time. And anytime you're out and about in the world, and something lights you up like this energy, that might be the energy you want to follow. It's like, oh, there's that energy. There's that vibe. There's that frequency. Now you can follow that energy and follow your dreams. That's the energy. Follow your dreams. So we're creating the energy within as if we already have it, because we do. So we're getting the energy of actualizing it, having it, and being that in the world, whether you're at your job that you dislike, whatever. Because otherwise we're trying to figure things out and we're in our own way of being able to be the vibrational match, if you will, for the energies that's going to lead you, if those words work. Yes, guess those work. The energy that will guide you, that will help you to make choices based on the energy of what it is you'd like to create. And it's as simple as, what is it I would truly like to have instead? What is it I would like to choose? Veronica, what would you add to all of that? How was that? There was probably a lot of
beautiful. Thank you. It was so perfect. Thank you. I really, yeah. The other one piece that I would just add is that, you know, sometimes we don't know what it is that we desire, and so in that case, we can get into, well, what would I like to feel, right? So there's been many chapters in my career where I have been unsure about, you know, what is it that I really want to be doing in the corporate world or outside the corporate world. And even in those moments of lack of clarity, I can still go into the energy of, okay, what is it that I want to feel? How do I want to feel when I wake up every day and I'm, you know, starting to move into my work in the world? What would it feel like? How would I feel at the end of the day? How would I feel at the end of the week? So even if we're not sure about what exactly it is, there's still that opportunity to really play in the energy of what you'd like to feel.
Thank you. Yes. And so that's exactly it. So for those who are like, I don't really know, exactly what you said. So just start off, you know, just kind of, okay, so what is something that brings that Mona Lisa smile to my lips, and that giggle in my heart? Now, I remember working with a client and she couldn't find nothing. She thought that it was too shallow to think about. She's like, the only thing I have is I love a good hamburger. I think it might have been something like that, but she felt that was shallow. And I said, it doesn't matter what the it is. We're just using something outside of ourselves to activate that which is within. We're simply using the thing, right? And so for those who don't know what it is that they'd like to actualize, simply just go to the peace, like you said so well, Veronica, thank you. I've just come to that place of, oh my God, when I was a kid, I had this teddy bear. Or yesterday, somebody said that thing. Or, oh my God, I remember the feeling of the sun on my face. Use something outside of you as a tool to activate that which is within you. So if you don't have a thing or something you know that you would like to actualize, just activate that energy of, oh my God, I love this. This is just feels so good. Doesn't matter what the it is, because in then once you get the feel of that, you let go of the it, right? The experience, the burger, whatever it is, and just allow that energy that's within you to take on a life of its own. And throughout your day, throughout your life, all the ooh la la moments, all the crappy moments, that energy is within us. Nobody can take that from us, by the way. Nobody can take that from us, right? And I didn't do anything, and Veronica didn't do anything to activate it within you. We just suggested bring something, just bring your awareness to something that when you bring it to your awareness, it could be a grandbaby, it could be whatever, right? Could be any of that. And if your mind goes to, yeah, but, just go, yeah, and come back to the thing, right? So for me, there's some things I know not to choose, even though I love this. When I bring it in, I might go into story. Okay, that's not the thing I'm going to choose to activate the ooh la la within me, right? And so, yeah. And as you go to sleep at night, knowing that our brain goes through the brain wave, that is the same brain wave that programs our subconscious mind, which then plays itself out in our waking life. What if you're going to sleep at night, reprogramming and being the energetics of that which puts that Mona Lisa smile on your lips and that giggle in your heart, instead of your to-do list or your worry, fret, and fear, right? We'll do that one next time, what happens when we're going to sleep in worry, fret, and fear, as opposed to something like this.
Yeah, and we already have an episode on it, so yeah.
Programming our subconscious. Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Do we? Thank God you keep notes.
Yeah. Well, such a beautiful conversation, and
it could be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go, girl.
Yeah, no, I think it's beautiful, thank you for the guided process. And I think that the magic comes when we do take the time to do a guided process, or our own guided process, right? And really go into the energy, in times where we have carved out time to focus. And I think it's also very beneficial and magical to do it as you're going through your day, right? So now you're in an experience, in a relationship or at work or wherever, where you feel stuck, or where you are noticing the gap from where you are and where you'd like to be, and you feel that constriction or that discomfort. And in that moment, when you can pause and ask the question, what would I like to experience instead? What would I choose instead? Then that's opening up the gateway to, allowing that energy to come in. And so it's the beauty of both, the focused, carved out time, as well as the, using it as you go through your day as much as you can.
Yeah. And I mean, it can take and the thing is, it's a practice, right? It is a practice. But I find this is something that you just end up becoming very quickly. Do you find that, Veronica? It's not like in the beginning, yeah, you might want to take, what was that, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, right? And as you said, it's as simply as, what is it that I would really like to experience, and getting the energy of that, being the energy of it, so that now that's where the radio station is tuned in, right? So you can actually receive it, and anything that matches that energy.
Follow your dreams.
Right? Follow that. That's the energy you want to follow. And so there's no such thing as failure. There's just learning how to show up in a way that contributes to us. And we're all learning this. I'm still learning this. Veronica's still learning this. We're all still learning this, right? And so, yeah, I think that is the takeaway. What do you think, Veronica? Just kind of wake up in the morning and right? Because it's easy for me when I open my eyes, my to-do list can start, right? And instead of like, oh, what might it be like for me to have more ease than I even thought possible? And then I just take that moment to go, oh my God, wouldn't that be nice? For me, that's how I tend to activate it within me, is by going, wouldn't that be nice? And then I can imagine it and just activate that energy, because the resources are within us. We're just simply activating them. And we can use a tool outside of us to activate which is within us. And then you let go of the tool and let the energy take on a life of its own. Because if we keep hanging on to the tool, then we're playing smaller than what might best contribute. Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely. And that tool might look different for everybody too, right? So everything that we're suggesting are things that have worked for us, and you might take a piece of it and find your own path.
Yeah.
It's never about it being one way. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Veronica.
Let us know how the play goes. I love you too.